All right, today we're diving into the mystery of the Wong Samar. It's this absolutely fascinating concept that actually builds a bridge between ancient Balinese tradition and, get this, the seriously mind-bending world of quantum physics. This is a journey that might just tweak how you see reality itself.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been to a place that's considered, sacred, and you just felt something? A weird energy, a vibe you just couldn't put your finger on? Well, it turns out that really common feeling is right at the heart of what we're talking about today.
And this is where things get really interesting. You've got this gap between two totally different ways of looking at the world. On one hand, modern science might just call those strange feelings an anomaly, a glitch in the data, something to just ignore. But on the other hand, Balinese custom doesn't just have a name for it, it has a whole official protocol for how to deal with it. Now we've got to get one thing straight. The idea of Wong Samar isn't just some spooky ghost story. The source material talks about it as a really sophisticated system, a system of interdimensional negotiation. It's a whole framework for understanding and interacting with another layer of reality, and it's something that's been practiced for thousands of years.
Okay, so let's look at the first piece of this puzzle, the ancient Balinese protocol. This whole system, it's built on the logic of what they call the unseen world, or Niskala.
Niskala is pretty much the foundation for this entire worldview. It's the name for the unseen, the intangible, the spiritual dimension that they believe exists right here, right alongside our own physical world, which they call Sekala. The key thing is, it's not somewhere else. It's a parallel reality, and it's always here.
And okay, this is where my mind was kind of blown. Let's shift gears and look at the second piece of the puzzle. And it comes from a place you probably wouldn't expect at all. The really weird anomalies in quantum physics.
This leads us to something called the many worlds interpretation. It's a wild theory from quantum physics that basically says every time there's a choice, reality doesn't just pick one path, it splits. For every single possible outcome, a brand new, separate, parallel universe pops into existence where that outcome is real. A scientific theory about coexisting realities? Sounds a lot like Niskala, doesn't it? And here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you're standing on a super busy street in Bali, right? Scooters, people everywhere, total chaos. Well, according to this idea, in a dimension right next to yours, that exact same spot could be completely silent, totally deserted. Two realities, same space, different planes.
So now let's actually connect the dots. We're going to look at where these ancient observations from Bali and these really cutting-edge theories from science seem to line up in some pretty uncanny ways.
Okay, this slide right here is where it all clicks. Look at these parallels. In the Adat, or custom, you have a Palingi shrine, which is seen as a kind of anchor to the unseen world. Is that what science might eventually call a dimensional GPS? Then you have a river confluence, a spiritual hotspot in the custom. Science might go there and detect an electromagnetic anomaly. And then there's the brain. The custom says a tired mind, which produces slower theta waves, by the way, is more open to Niskala. And what does science call that? An altered state of perception. It's wild. It's like two different languages describing the exact same thing. And listen, this isn't just a theory. Check out this experience someone shared in the source material. I saw what looked like a busy market, but when I got there, it was silent and dark. Nothing was there. That is a perfect, real-life example of that bustling street versus the empty one we were just talking about. Just a quick, shocking little peek into another dimension. You hear stories like that, and it makes you wonder, if these dimensions can cross over, what do you do when they do? And what's amazing is, this ancestral wisdom doesn't just describe it. It gives you a practical guide for what to do if you ever feel that weird shift yourself. So, what does the guide say? First, grounding. Literally touch the earth or a tree. They say it neutralizes your body's static charge. Second, create an audio anchor. Just speak out loud. The act of talking helps snap your brainwaves back to their normal alert beta state. And third, a quick visual check. If you're in bright light and your shadow looks weirdly faint, the advice is to just move. Move at least 3 meters away to physically get yourself out of that intersection point. And just to be super clear, this isn't just folklore pulled from thin air. The research here is built on a trust layer of really credible sources that bridge both worlds. You've got official cultural sites like chemdikbud.gov.id, but also academic journals like the Journal of Physics and the International Journal of Hindu Studies, plus classic anthropological work like the books Sekala and Niskala. This stuff is deeply researched. So, what does it all mean? Well, we're left with this really powerful idea. Maybe ancient wisdom and new science are just two different languages trying their best to describe the very same, very complex reality.
And that leaves us with one last, huge question to think about. What if this ancient wisdom isn't unscientific, but maybe it's pre-scientific? A system that was built on thousands of years of careful observations, just using a different language to map out a reality that our modern tools are only just now starting to even detect. What do you think?